And these last weeks of meditation that we did the last time before I went to New York were all about how to know your life code and how changes come into your life and so on. So you need to get to know the life code, get to know what the year is going to be like, what the changes are going to be. Now 2012, for example, is a very major change in the world, so that's going to affect us. It's already affecting us. 2012 already started. It's not just started in 2012, it started. It's the end part of the 2012 change that's going to come in December of 2012. So that's when things are going to change and so on. So the idea is to understand yourself and your personality by acquiring knowledge. One of the benefits of prayer is to acquire knowledge of yourself, knowledge of the universe and so on. So are you aware that the moon gives you a lot of changes in your life? Every time the moon moves? The moon is what creates your menstrual cycle and so on. So somebody says, well, I have PMS, and I'm angry or I'm frustrated, whatever. But did they ever stop to think that it's the moon that makes the change? But they don't do that. They blame the God, or they blame somebody else and says, he's making me mad, he's making me angry. But you stop to think that it's the universe creating the change in your life? So many times we blame the people around us, but we don't realize that we are being affected by the moon. Our changes in our life and so on. So every day the moon changes. Day to day, the blood system flows and everything, all the changes happen. So that's why we get affected by the sun. When you get up in the morning, what wakes you up? The sun. So the sun right away creates a change in your life. When you come home, it's the sun that creates that change. That you time yourself according to the sun. Right? So our whole system of living, what's happening in the universe, what's happening in the world, what's happening to us, is a result of the universal changes that are happening every day. So if we can calculate that, if we can know that ahead of time, then we can save ourselves a lot of trouble. Okay. So change is very important. So every time you change a home, something happens. Every time you change, and so that's why we need to know about the changes. So the Hindus, what they do to cope with changes, to make sure that the changes doesn't affect you, they pray to the planets. They have a special mantra that they pray to the planets. And because they don't want Mars to give us war and quarrel and fights and disagreement, they don't want the planet Venus, which is the planet of love, to give us love problems, because we're affected by that and so on. They don't want the planet Jupiter to make us have money problems. And so that's why we have these different prayers for the planets and so on. So Brahma Murari means, O Creator of the universe. Right? Brahma Murari means, O Creator of the universe. Sribantakari, O Creator of the planets. Right? The one who creates all the planets, which is the Lord. Right? And he calls all the planets Guru, Brahma, Guru. Guru means Jupiter, give me lots of wealth. Right? Guru is Shukra. Shukra means love, give us lots of love, and so on. Shukra is the word for Venus. Right? And Shani means Saturn, that's the one who watches you and take away your money in terms of when you think that you are have an ego or you're greater than others, like what happened to Job, and so on. Shani. Rahu Ketua means that the ones who cause the eclipse, who also creates bad things in your life, please don't do that and so on. So we're asking the planets to bless us with all of these good things, right? Now talking about the planets, in 2000, before we say 2009, are you aware of what the number 4 means? What does the number 4 mean in the life code, science? Or even in numerology, what's the number 4 mean? Foundation, right? Work. Work is job, same thing, right? Career. Now, if you take the United States is the number 2, which is July 4th, and you add it to the year 2009, what do you get? Two. United States is 2, and you add it to 2009, you get? 4. Boy, we got some bad arithmetic here. It comes out to 13, which is 4. Right. And I said 4 affects job, career, work. And what happened in the United States in 2009? All the jobs were lost. All the companies went down. Everything went downward in the United States in 2009, which is the number 4. And so the whole United States was affected by career and jobs and everything. Right? So all of these years from 2009 up, the jobs have been coming back slowly. Little by little, it's coming back, right? But why did the United States have a job problem? Why does it have a career problem? Because if you look previously at that, all the companies were stealing the money, all the mortgage companies were doing the wrong mortgages and things like that. So the actions of the people of the United States in such mass quantity created the problem in 2008, 2009. And so a lot of people lost their houses because the number 4 rules real estate also. So you'll find now that the changes that are taking place that took place in 2009 were all affecting the job market, real estate market, mortgage market, everything. So the number 4 controls jobs, right? And so it controls career in your life and so on. So when you add that number to your life code number, right? So if you are like a number 4 person, right, and you add that 4 to 4, it means that the biggest test in your life will be to keep the money that you work for, you know. So you'll find that people who are number 4 in your life code, they have a problem with keeping the money in your life, so what they work for. And so if you're number 6, then you should be able to achieve a lot with your money in terms of, it's a 1. So 1 means that you alone, you have to pay for everything sometimes, and you're the one who have to take care of all your bills by yourself, and so on. The money that comes from you, from your job, and so on. So you see, you can anticipate how career will affect you. But why I bring that up specifically is because the United States is going through a lot of change in terms of career and jobs and everything. And the direction of the United States is changing. So in 2012, which is number 5, and we have the United States is a 2, 7 comes out to 7, right? 2012 is 5, right? Mm-hmm. And you add it to number
2, which is 7.
2, you get 7. And what does number 7 mean? Let's see if we have some good students here. God. Spirituality. So what kind of change the United States is going to go through in 2012? Spiritual change. Spiritual change. So you see, the whole of United States is going to go through spiritual change in 2012. So it's not the end of the world, but it is the end of people people now pray now. More people will get into meditation, more people will get into yoga, more people will understand the United States in terms of spirituality and so on.
But how is the economy is going to be like in a year number 7? Because the year after that, 2013, it will be a number 8. The United States will be running a number 8 year.
Very good.
So
So what do you think is going to happen in number 8 now?
booming, there's going to be jobs.
Booming money.
But in the meantime, for 2012, how is the movement going to be? I mean, is it going to be on the upward slope, if you know what I mean? Is it going to be?
Oh, it's always upward from 7 to 8.
Okay.
But what happened is that people are going to worry about their goals and their objectives. People are going to worry about what's going to happen in their life. All that is happening even now. And until the end of 2012, people are going to find their goals. They're going to find their objectives. People are going to have jobs. Jobs are going to come. People are going to have lots of jobs in the United States and so on. They're going to be working. So again, it's because it's going to go into that 8, now the country will boom. Right? So you want to buy your house before that. Because you don't want to buy a house after 2012, it might be more expensive. You know. So a lot of things will happen that are going to be good for the United States in 2012, actually. And you have to be prepared. And some of us are not prepared for change. Right? You know, some people hate moving. Some people hate changing jobs, but you should always welcome change. Changes should always be a welcoming thing because it helps to develop your life from being stagnant and being static. Always make sure that you welcome that change that's coming. So when change comes into your life, it's much better. Right? So when you meditate and you pray, and the change comes into your life now, are you prepared for it? Okay? Okay, I'll give you a good example of change that can be beneficial. So this guy comes to me, he says to me, he says he had a problem with his car. We've heard this before. And he said the car is always breaking down, the car giving him a lot of problems. You got to fix the transmission almost every week. You got to fix the engine, or something happens. So he doesn't get to go to work in time sometimes because of the car. So I said, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you this chant, Kali Durgin, I'm going to put it in your car and chant. And then think you're going to get some change in your life. So he's chanting, he's fasting, chanting. So he calls me about a week later and he says, Swami, I just had a big accident with a car. And the car crashed. So I said, oh, that's very good. So he says, well, how come Swami is saying that's very good? Right? So I said, do you have insurance? He said, yes. I said, you're going to get a new car now, right? He says, yes. I said, okay. Then everything's going to be okay. No? Tell me what was his problem? He was so attached to the problem, he was so attached to the car, that he doesn't want to get rid of the problem. He doesn't want to make a change. So when I gave him it, he was so concentrating on the mantra, the car crashed. So now he doesn't have a problem anymore. He has no car, and you have to buy a used car, he has a regular car. So when you come to the guru, when you come to the teacher teaches you how to overcome the change in your life, how to make the change in your life, so that you can continue your life. And so you have to understand that sometimes we are so attached to fighting or quarreling or trying to change the other person, we forget to change ourselves. And that's why changes are important, especially when you're praying.